Good day. Today's lesson 5.1.1 study. What is a circle? Is a circle a polygon? Explain. The answer to this is that no, a circle is not a polygon. A circle is not a polygon. And the reason being because the sides of a circle are not line segments. And if you recall from the lesson on polygons, a polygon was a shape that had side lengths that were segments. So in this case, a circle would not be a polygon because the sides are not line segments. So the next part, write point or center in each blank to complete the definitions. A circle. A circle has all the points that are the same distance from a center point. So in this space, you would just put center right there. Okay, a center, the point in the middle of the circle. So on this space right here, you would put point. And the radius, a segment that connects any point on the circle to a center. So on this line here, we will put point to its center on the second line. This lesson is going to go by pretty quickly, and I guess that's a good thing. So moving on. Using this visual cue, it says write circle, center, or radii in each blank. So the point that's in the center of the circle, you guessed it, it's the center. We call it the center. And actually, that's the point that we use to name the circle, and you'll see that in just a second. So center goes on that line. The actual circle itself is round. So that's where we put circle. And the arrow down at the bottom is actually pointing at the radius. All right. And when we get into it, you'll see that multiple radius are called radii. Okay, so fill in the blank to complete the list. The plural of radius, I just said it, is called radii, R-A-D-I-I. That's what goes on this line here. All radii of a circle have the same length. They are all the same length from the center to a point on a circle. That is what a radius is. So they are length, L-E-N-G-T-H. Boom. So that goes on this line here. All radii of a circle have the same length. A circle, now these are all the facts about a radius. And that should be highlighted because that's kind of important. This is where you get all your info about the radius. And a circle has an infinite number of radii. You can draw an infinite number of radii on a circle. The radius defines the size of a circle. So on this line here, you put size. And the radius is the distance from the center of a circle to any point on a circle. So the last line you would put distance. All right, so that's what goes there. Moving on. Okay. What is the circumference? The circumference plainly is just the distance around a circle. That's all it is. That's about it. I guess another way to describe it would be the perimeter of a circle, but it is the distance around a circle. So it says, how is the difference of a circle how is the circumference of a circle like the perimeter of a polygon? It is the distance around a circle like the perimeter of the distance around the outside of is the distance around the outside of a polygon. So that's how they are the same. How is the circumference of a circle like the perimeter of a polygon? It is the distance around a circle. Just like the perimeter is the distance around any polygon. Let's fix this so you can see it. All right. So, summary, it says use the two centers and radii below to draw a circle A and circle B. Use a notation to name each circle. So, circle A, when you see notation for anything, the circle notation is just that. It's a circle with a dot in the middle, and we would just call it circle A. Just like on this one, I will put a circle, dot in the middle, and call it circle B. So, let's see. So with circle A is going to be the center of the circle. Just do your best when you draw. I'm not the greatest at drawing circles, but here's what my circle, no, that's not good. Let me try to do it better, a little bit better. Okay, so circle A, whoops. The radius is going to be from A. If I was going to name this C, then AC would be the radius. With circle B, you're going to find out that it's going to be a little bit larger. And our question at the bottom asks us about why circle B is a little bit larger than circle A. So here we go with our question. The first one says why, which circle is bigger and why? So to answer that question, what you see is that circle B, and let's see, I'm going to write it all the way out. Circle B is larger because the radius is larger. And that's all there is to that. That's why circle B is larger, because the radius is larger. And then it says which circle has the longest circumference and why? Well, if circle B has the largest radius, then it's going to have the largest circumference. And that's our reason right there. So circle B has the largest circumference because it has the longest, largest radius. And you'll see in future lessons that when we talk about the radius of a circle and the circumference, how those two things, what those two things have in common. All right. And I believe that's the end of this lesson. But what I want to do next is give you a few practice problems of what type of things you'll see on your quiz. Just for practice, if I was to give this circle a name, let's say I have a center point here, and this is going to become circle A. Circle A. And if I was to create a radius here on circle A, from here to here, I'm going to say that that point right here is B. So my radius here would be AB. That is my radius. All right, then I could also have a radius that went from here to here, and I'm gonna call that point C. So AC is also a radius. Whoops, doesn't come out too clear. Now let's say, I don't know, I'm gonna say that my radius here, AB, is 6. So my radius for AC would also have to be 6. Good question that may come up in the quiz is what would be the measure of the diameter? So let's say you have to find the diameter. And it leaves a little bit to the imagination, but I hope that you know that the radius is just half of the diameter. So in this case, our diameter would be 12. And any circle, no matter what the circle look like, let's see if I get another circle here. Make this one blue. Whoops, it's black. Let me redo it. I want the circle to be blue so you can see what I write. Oh, it keeps coming out black. Oh, whatever. Say you have this circle here, and I guess I can try to write in blue. Yeah, it works. Okay, so let's say that this point is point D. Okay, and I'll have a crooked line through it. Something like that. and I'm going to name this E, and I'm going to name this over here F. Then EF represents my diameter because it goes all the way to from one point to the other point through the center. So EF is my diameter, and let's say EF is 20. What if I said all the way from there to there is 20? So my question on this one would be, well, if my diameter is 20, what's my radius? Well, hope you said that the radius has to be 10. Now, okay, something else that came up about the circles, even though it's not in the lesson, and that's okay. Let's say we look at this black circle here where the radius is 10 and the diameter was 20. Let's say they ask you about the circumference. So the circumference messed up a little bit, but that's okay. The circumference equation is 2 pi r, which is also the same as pi times the diameter. Now, that's okay if you struggle with that. It's perfectly fine because it's really not introduced in a lesson. So what I want to do next is show you in a calculator how you can put that in. So let's say if all we know for the circumference is that our radius is 2. So 2 pi times 10. Okay, so if you wanted to put this in a calculator, just how you see it, bear with me because this is a little difficult. But if I was to press 2, and pi is just over here in the clear, well, right underneath clear, you see that little symbol right there for pi. So you're going to press second because it's in blue. So second, and then the rooftop, and then I'll put 10, just like it is right here on the screen. So 2 pi 10, the circumference of this circle is going to be 62, and I'd say 62 and 8300ths, because 4 or less, let it rest. So my circumference here is going to be 62.83. So if I were to write it down, the circumference is 62.83. Now, one more thing. I don't know what just happened. If all I had was a diameter and I wanted to figure out what the circumference is, hold tight for just a second. So let's say if all I know is the diameter, for example, on this one, our diameter was 20, same exact problem. I would put the circumference in like this one, pi times the diameter. So I would just put pi times 20 inside the calculator and get my answer. So I can put that in the calculator just like it is right here. I will press second and then the rooftop, or second and pi, and then put 20. And it doesn't matter if you put 20 times pi or pi times 20, you get the same answer. So it's the same answer once again if you had the diameter or the radius, which is 62.83. So once again, this is our right answer right there. No need to write it twice. Thank you. And if you did those good and you understand, great. If you need some help, let me know. Of course, I'm here to help you. Thank you.